Welcome to Pillow Talk number 1. This is my room, and this is where we're going to have the most intimate conversations. So in today's video, the topics that we're going to cover are 1. Fame, 2. Career, and 3. Jealousy. Before we get started, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by clicking down on the red button down below, and also make sure you turn on that little bell button so that you know when my new videos come up. Now without further ado, let's start with number 1. Fame. Did I want to become famous? When I was younger, yes, I wanted to become a famous world-renowned pianist. I wanted to be like a piano version of Sarah Chang, who is an amazing violinist, and I was a huge fan of her. She was like my idol, and that's how I sort of developed my dream of becoming a pianist and my dream of going over to the United States and study. I had a lot of passions for many different things. I was a huge fan of Disney movies, Disney animated films, so still to this day I memorize almost all lines of, like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and many more. But now I don't really care much about fame, nor I want to be that famous. I think fame comes with a lot of responsibility as well as a lot of lack of privacy, and I also want to found my own family at some point, and I think privacy will be a very important factor. Number 2. So how did you start developing your career as an international announcer? Well, that's a very long story. I wanted to become a news anchor in my 4th year in college, and this was when I was in Berlin, Germany, studying abroad as a DAAD scholar. I was following up very closely on the news of which city will be the host city for 2018 Winter Olympics, and back then Munich and Pyeongchang, Korea, were competing, and the way American media, German media, and Korean media, the way they were delivering were all different. And that's when I was sort of shocked and moved how, depending on the news presenter, the same article, the same news can be delivered so differently. And that's when I saw the real charm and I was very much attracted by that factor of being a news anchor. And I also saw in me how I spent most of my life on stage, and I'm very used to being in front of people, and I love speaking and expressing myself, so I thought that would be a very good fit for me. And that's how I first developed my dream as a news anchor / announcer. But I had no idea truly I had no idea that my career as an international announcer would walk to this way, and how it would be led like this till now. To explain a little bit more specifically, I have put lots of efforts in terms of my presentation skills, speaking skills, as well as my writing skills, because being a news presenter, being a news anchor means that you gotta be able to quickly absorb much information at a very fast pace. And that was a very big challenge because I was more of an artistic and musical person, as to a very linguistic person. But I went through a lot of trainings. Sometimes I would spend almost all day just reading newspaper out loud. So it involved lots of hard work, lots of efforts. And to some of you who are wondering like how I practiced and all those very nitty-gritty details, then I'll try to make a separate video on that particular topic. Lastly, jealousy. Now, this is a very sensitive topic, and for me, I know that a lot of people struggle with this emotion of jealousy, and sometimes I have become a victim of jealousy as well. What I could say, the bottom line is, it's not good. It's very unhealthy. Not just very unhealthy, it just destroys all people involved in this whole situation of jealousy. If you are the person who is feeling jealous of somebody, then two things will happen. One, you might jeopardize that person by developing your jealous emotions. Two, you are also going to destroy yourself by developing that emotion. So when you know that you are developing emotion of jealousy, then you gotta quickly tell yourself that you gotta stop it. Really, you gotta just let it go, let that emotion go, stop it right from there, and just focus on something else. Really, focus on other things. Out of all emotions, and even in Bible, it says jealousy was the first sin that was described in the Holy Bible. That's how awful and, extremely dangerous it is. So, I myself also experienced a lot of different situations that involved jealousy, and it's just not healthy. So that was pillow talk number 1, where I was very comfortable sitting on my bed, and please look forward to pillow talk number 2. If you liked today's video, then please leave me a comment below by saying that I want to see pillow talk number 2. Before you leave, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by clicking down on the red button down below. And until the next time, please stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys the next time on Saemiful. Ciao! And the last question was on how much I study. Well, I study quite a lot to this day, because as a global economic news anchor, I basically need to cover the whole entire global stock market, and it is a huge challenge for me to deliver every detail, every issue of the global stock market that might affect the next day's Korean stock market. So it's a lot of work, and also it involves a lot of stress. It also involves a lot of lack of sleep, because pretty much my day starts at 1:30 a.m. That's when I wake up. Sometimes 2 a.m., but mostly 1:30 a.m. And I start preparing for the show and studying, and I collect all the materials, information for my Wall Street briefing and everything. So it's a lot of hard work. But I very much enjoy the whole process, and I also am a huge, as many of you know, I love studying, I love learning, and I love learning new things, even though this particular job is a very challenging one. But I truly hope that our viewers and I could communicate at a good level, and that I am delivering good content to our viewers.